What brings me here?
Yeah.
My absolute frustration over the way this country's being run, and the motivation to see it through and get something fixed. What's interesting for me, this is the first time I've ever gotten involved with any kind of protesting, but I've had it. I've just had it. I've been a tax-paying citizen. I've been in the system for a long time. I have 2 jobs. I have a mortgage that I have to pay for that's been sold 4 times to different companies. So just the extent of the lies that are being fed us on a daily basis has just gotten to the point where I can't take it anymore. Can't take it anymore. So I'm out here to change it. And what I've found here is that there are all sorts of political views, everything from anarchists and anti-capitalists to Republicans, Democrats, libertarians, and we put all of that aside whenever we sit down and make decisions. Everybody has a chance for their voice to be heard, and it's all about group compromises. We understand that a lot of people are really angry and want to take aggressive actions, but sometimes that is not always in the best interest of the group. And they understand that, and then they are willing to table some of those ideas, for the greater good of the group, to make sure that this lasts and that we go on. So that's the thing that's really beautiful to me, is that in this group, I have spent weeks with people who I never would have shared time with in any other situation, and found common ground with people that I never would have found common ground with. And they've turned out to be amazing individuals with as much to say as anybody else. So it truly is. It's inspiring, and it's great. You learn something every day. You meet somebody new every day, and you really are seeing the true humanity of people. The amount that people are willing to give and do for this movement it blows me away on a daily basis. People have been living in this broken system for so long that they find it difficult to think outside of that system. And it's tough. It really is. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of motivation to get yourself to a mindset to think that we can do something outside of that small little box that we've been put in for so long. So, we just keep working and generating awareness. Every time we march, somebody comes up to me and thanks me for doing what I do. So, we're getting the message out there. And the last 2 nights here have been incredibly positive for us. Even though people have been getting arrested each night, the press that has been generated and the outflow of support for us and against Bill Haslam and the decisions that he's made over the last 48 hours has been incredible. And he may have thought he was doing his job, but he did our job better than we could for the last 48 hours. But my wife was unemployed for 18 months. And we, one of the trigger points, I'll tell you this, is in dealing with one of our various mortgage companies that's held our mortgage over the last 5 years. Halfway through that unemployment, we were really struggling, and we called our mortgage company and said, look, we've never missed a payment. We've never been more than 10 or 15 days late on any payment. Never went 30 days late on anything. Called them up and said, look, we are down to 1 income and we're really struggling. We're not late. What can we do to make sure that we don't start defaulting on this? And we were told that unless we were more than 3 months behind on our mortgage, there was no program that they could offer to help us out during our little crisis. And so I politely asked the woman that I was talking to, so what you're recommending is that I stop paying my mortgage for 3 months so that I can get into your program. She said, sir, I can't recommend that you do that at all. So I said, okay, so in that case, there's nothing that you can do for me. And there was a silence, and she really didn't respond. And I just said, thank you very much, and hung up the phone. And at that point, I was just like, you know what? I've had it. I've absolutely had it. I'm not asking for handouts. I'm not asking for forgiveness of any of my errors, anything like that. I'm asking one person to another, somebody who's been paying money to you on a timely basis, is there anything that you can do for me to help continue this? And you tell me no. And at that point, I was done with it. That was the straw. So I'm not anti-corporation. Right. I own a car that was made by a corporation. Sure. I wear shoes that are made by a corporation. I'm a consumer. I like things. I've got a smartphone. I will continue to buy products manufactured by corporations. I just feel they have absolutely no business in policy making. I have absolutely no business within government, and they should not have any more power than you or I or anybody else. and that's the long and short of it right there.